All right, guys, Friday's wrap up. Again, I'm only working the mornings this week and next week, but I wanted to share what I did trade today. VVUS is this smaller chart here, is the daily chart. You can see that it had a nice breakout over that $14 area yesterday. And then I happened to notice it today. I already knew what it had done yesterday. Let me get this chart out of the way now. And so I noticed it today trading in a nice narrow range. All right, this is today's trading. These are actually 2-minute candles. So you had this very tight base and overall a tight range for the day, right below the high of the day. So I went ahead and just called this as a long idea if it broke the high of the day. 1466 with a 1453 stop. The thinking is we might retest yesterday's high, maybe push through it. So there's 1466, and it went all the way to 1536 for a really nice move on about 13 cents risk. MCP, I posted when it looked just like this. I said MCP nearing the high of the day. And we all in the chat room, and probably a lot of you know that when MCP lights up the new highs tickers with all the shorts in it, plus the recent trading, and I'll slide the small daily over again. This had a nice pop, nice secondary pop, and it's back down to support. That the high of day break might do something there. So I posted MCP right below the high of the day, and you got a quick move to almost 7 from the 660s. Those are 2-minute candles, so it took about 6 to 8 minutes. Really nice pop there. Let's see what else. RSOL, just because it was beaten up. There's the daily on that one. After the huge move, beaten up, and they had, I think, bad news this morning. That a lot of shorts jumped in. My thinking was when this gets back over 4, we might get a push through the high of the day. Called it at 406 with a 392 stop, and right about there's the trigger, and it went pretty quickly from 406 to 430. So 24-cent move doesn't seem like much, but on a $4 stock it is, and we were selling into that high of day break while others were buying. Turned out real nice. And then couple more posts. GameStop is a great example of the teamwork in our chat room. When GameStop looked something like this, one of our All-Stars, B-Turk, said GME getting interesting here, and it's nearing the 50-day, and I'll bring down this small daily chart. You can see there the 50-day right there. So B-Turk put it on my radar. Then when it pushed down about to here, I said something like, yeah, GME is right at that 50-day now. Okay, so then I basically re-alerted, re-reminded the room. Is that a word, re-reminded? About B-Turk's post. And then one of our All-Stars, Big Ideas, when it looked like this, posted an entry idea of 3301, 3274. So the three of us together got this on everybody's radar, and then with Big's call, there's the entry 3301, and over the next these are 5-minute candles. So over the next half hour, it goes to 33.87. So an 86-cent move in about 20 minutes, something like that, half hour. And then right before I left, I had the projector on. I was doing a Q&A, and I posted VRX. I happen to have the projector on, and I'm always watching the market while I'm projecting and babbling. Try to get this there. So VRX, while I'm projecting and answering questions, I said, hey, everybody, VRX volume spike here. And so I actually had it on the projector so everyone could see it. Now, I didn't make a call off that because it had moved $2 to $3 there in the first 2 minutes. But, you know, you could have jumped in it thinking, hey, this is huge, whatever. You don't need to know the news as long as you know where your stop is and as long as you don't take 1,000 shares, right? A couple hundred shares, whatever. Look, this thing moved up $10 from there over the next 6 minutes or so. So I got a private message from somebody that made $2,000 on it. Several other people were saying how much money they made. So, you know, the volume alerts in the chat room alone can be nice. Although I didn't make a trade or a call on that one. I did happen to have the projector on and, you know, show everybody the volume. So anyway, guys, have a great 3-day weekend. The market's closed on Monday. I've had a great week just working mornings, and that's generally when I make most of my money. I'm actually working a little bit late today, but getting ready to go enjoy the Memorial Day weekend. Hope you all do the same, and we'll see you on Tuesday.